Okay, well, I am just very new at this liquid pour type of art form, but it's a lot of fun to experiment and to try to figure out what you want to come on your canvas. I got these big push pins to put on the bottom, and the paint that's on here is basically it's not the best black paint out there. It was a one that had a little bit of a shine kind of effect to it, and was a little bit more on the runny side. So sometimes it leaves these little spots, and I'm gonna cover all those spots up with the other paints that I'm gonna put on here. So I'm starting out with a black base. There are liquid pour paints, and the key with liquid pour is that all your paint should have the same consistency, whether you've got a cell activator or if you don't. But some paints will just naturally make cells on their own. So this is an experiment. I'm just going to try to do something with these colors that I particularly do like. I need to get myself a palette knife so I can do a swipe in the future. But I'm going to start out with, and I do apologize for my mess, but that's what happens when you get creative. So I'm going to start out with this nice deep purple, and I'm going to put a nice line of that. Sometimes these things get a little clogged up, and then I have to unclog them. The paint's the right consistency, it's just the little spout gets blocked somehow. Anyway, so I'm going to put some of this in a cup to pour from. Let's see if I can pour from this one. This little silicone cup. I'm just going to throw some in here and see if it's the right consistency for what I'm doing. It may be a little on the thick side. It looks like it might be a little too thick, and that's why it's not coming out the way I want it. Let's see. Yeah, this one needs some assistance. It needs to be watered down some. So I'm going to put a few drops of water in it. Now you can do liquid pour with just water and paint, but you want to only add it, just a little tiny bit at a time, because you can add too much water. And if you add too much water, you just add paint to it. They say warm honey. Well, basically when you drip it down, it makes one long drip. When it hits the top of the paint, it leaves a little mound, and then it disappears like almost right away. So now this is fine. It's perfect for pouring on here. So we'll do this one. I'll put some. The black's kind of thin, so some of this is sinking down into it like it's going to activate cells, which is fine with me. And you always want to use distilled water because if you don't, you run the risk of the minerals in regular water causing it to crack as it dries. So this is some gold. I'll put some gold on top of the purple. And I'm going to put this pretty, really pretty light blue, like a light aqua color on top of that. I'm just doing a straight line, as you can see. And then I'm going to put this purple, which is more of a lilac color, on top of that. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. No idea whatsoever. Put some more of that because I like that color. That's going to blow out on top, obviously, in the layer that you're putting them is how they're going to come out. And a little bit of white, so it won't be so dark. Come here, white. I just want some white in there. Okay. And then I have this really pretty turquoise that I really, really like. I'm going to see if it might come out the spout without a problem. See in a minute. Sometimes I just gotta take it out. There it goes. Nice. For that, lid back on. And then a little bit more gold on top of that. Like I said, I don't know exactly how this is going to turn out. I'm just playing. That. And the last thing, do I have another blue that I was going to put on here? No, I don't believe so. I'm going to put a little stripe of this, real dark purple. So some of that will come up on top. And then I'm going to take, I made this fluorescent green, but I made it kind of thin, and it acts like a cell activator sometimes. So we're going to give that a shot and see if it does. It might. It might do exactly what I want it to. The way you can tell it's going to do that is when you put it on top, if it sinks down and you get this little halo around the paint, then that's going to activate cells for you. And this green, whatever I did to it, whether it's added, more water to it, or I think I even put wood conditioner in this, that it's going to work really well for a cell activator. So let's see what I can do. Oh, and the cells are coming out, and it's like really great. I mean, they're really popping. I'm going to add some more of this black for it to flow on top of. So I have something to flow onto as it comes out. These are getting some really beautiful, beautiful cells. And I have it on low because I don't want to blow it all over the place. And you're doing it at an angle so that it creates that void. And that's what makes the cells. And honestly, this turned out really, really awesome with the green in the center. Because the part of it that didn't blow over is actually sitting in the middle a little bit. And I'm going to tilt it. This is what we call stretching it. To kind of like move it around a little. And move it that way. I like the negative space, and the negative space being the black parts, but I see where that black paint that wasn't coating well is leaving some areas that I don't like, so I'm just going to fill those in like this. And then your edges, just take your stir stick and go around the edge and coat it with the paint that's dripped, and that way you have a nice finished piece, and you can just hang like as soon as it's dry and sealed, and you can go ahead and hang it. If it's not quite creeping over the edge, you just put a little bit of paint on there and use the stick to do that, and it will naturally flow over. I said, I'm fairly new to this. I'm trying to figure out color combinations that I like, and it actually turned out pretty decent. And this one is actually a pretty good experiment. Now, since I have it on the turntable, I'm going to give it a gentle turn. And that's going to spin off some of the excess paint to drip down. You don't want too much paint left on top. And do it one more time. And do it that much. So I'm going to turn it the other way. A little bit more oomph there. It's got some really cool stuff going on in here. Cells, a little bit of lacing. There's just enough gold in this to pop through. Let's see if I can get some of this to come back this way a little. Move it over just a little bit. I like the little spidery look on this one side. Kind of looks really neat. Get this way, it's kind of evenly balanced with that green stripe right down the middle, and I really like it like that. I really like it. So I'm going to bring you in close so you can see just what this looks like close up. I'll try to show you these cells and all. It's going to be neat. Okay. All right, let's see what I can show you. Okay, now you can see the different cells. Those are the outline bubbles, I call them. There's some cool lacing over here where it looks like little nerve-ending spider web things. And then there's these cool turquoise cells in here. This turquoise color. And the green that goes blue, the purple. There's just enough of everything in there. I think this is a good one. I really like this. I like how it turned out, and it'll be interesting when it dries. And when it does, I'll make sure I will show you the dried piece. So if I can do this as a newbie, so can you.